Alright, hello and welcome to Top 10 Rillaroos. Oh no, in at number 10, Rillaroo, in at number 9, Rillaroo, in at number 8, Rillaroo. I was just kidding, obviously. This is Top 10 Crash Bash Arenas. These are the arena mini-games from the PS1 game Crash Bash. Of course, a classic party game. Some ground rules, basically, if it's in the game, it's arena, then it can be in my top 10. No boss levels because I'm not counting those, it's just the main levels. So, let's get the top 10 started.
Three, 2, 1, go!
So, kicking us off in at number 10 is Crash Ball, the first level of ballistics in the game. It takes place in a square-shaped arena. The player must use their hover ship to block and deflect steel balls and get the balls into all the other goals. That's right, take all my balls, Koala Kong. You love my balls! Oh, sorry, what? As the round progresses, the balls generally get faster and more balls enter the arena. The reason I like this one, because it's quite simple. As the ballistics games go, they get quite a bit more complicated. And then you get N-ballism. And Engine is just an absolute arsehole in this game. He just fires balls at you all over the place. I don't always want balls being fired at me. I don't mind some balls now and then, but too many balls is just too much for me. Generally, I find this minigame is best when it's kept simple. It's basically four-way Pong. Kind of like four-way football as well. You know, you got your goal to protect and you got to score other goals by knocking your balls into each other's arenas. The one downside to Crash Ball is the computers are a bit slow. I mean, they're more slower than a sloth that's just eating a great big Christmas dinner. So, that was number 10. What's in at number 9?
Three, 2, 1, go!
So, in at number 9 is Ring Ding Dong Ding Ding Dong 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 Ding 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 Dong 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 Ding. I mean Ring Ding. In at number 9, Ring Ding. So, Ring Ding is the first of the medieval mayhem levels and is found in the 4th warp room. Your objective is to pop all your balloons. You have to only pop the balloons that are your colour. If you're player 1, it's yellow balloons. To help you, you can get vacuum cleaners that suck up all the balloons. That's the best power up. I can just sit in the corner sucking on balloons. Yum, yum, yum. You also get some hover boots. Now, no one ever really seemed to work out what these do. Apparently, you can go against the cog when the way it's spinning and you can walk faster, but it seems almost the same. They are pretty useless. There are also naughty black balloons. These can do multiple things. They can turn all the balloons the colour that the person hit that black balloon, or it pops all the opponent's balloons, or it changes the direction of the ring. Now, the reason I love this little mini game, I say love, it can get quite frustrating because the computers will hit you a lot. It's just a nice bit of fun. Who doesn't like popping balloons? One of my childhood favourite things is just to, pop some balloons or keep some balloons, bang them in the air and stuff. Balloons are just fun. No one's gonna say, oh, balloons, they're a bit shit. Who likes balloons? No, everyone likes balloons, everyone likes Ring Ding. What's number 8? So, in at number 8 is Dantes Dash. This is the 4th of the Crash Dash arenas. It is also the last level you can unlock in the game. So, not many people actually made it to this arena due to the level of difficulty of this game. I mean, you had to get pretty much every gem, every crystal. There was relics you needed to get. Oh, there's just so much you have to get in the game, and so many of them are so hard. I'm looking at you, and ballism, bloody crystal. Naughty. Another reason I hate that level. Anyway, it's enough about hating emballism. You can probably already tell that's going to be on my dishonourable mentions. Spoiler alert. But, it's pretty obvious. It's a terrible level. Dante's Dash, meanwhile. So yeah, the Crash Dash arenas are kind of like these mini races where you race around a little arena. And the good thing about Dantes Dash is you get this little mini volcano that spurts out volcanic little balls that kind of bounce into you and knock you off the arena. It's a nice little bit of fun. You can also pick up a missile, which you can fire at other opponents. Wumpa fruits are boosts, although boosting on this arena can be pretty tricky. You can easily just fly off. The level is also based on the prehistoric themed levels from Crash Bandicoot Warp, Dynamite and Boneyard. That was number 8. What is number 7, Mr. Sam?
Three, two.
So, in at number 7 is Melt Panic. This is the third of the Polar Push arenas in the game. The objective, to knock everyone off the arena. Now then, this one also has Uka Uka, but you have to avoid his beam because he can freeze you, he can shrink you, or he can turn you into a big old snowball, which is always good fun. That's the reason this one stands out, is he goes around the edge, melting it slowly and slowly. I always find Koala Kong and Tiny Tiger to be the best characters for this arena. And like in almost all arenas, Rillaroo is useless. Dearie me. It's always so satisfying when you get a perfect hit on an opponent and they just fly off the arena. That's always a good feeling. This was number 7. What's in at number 6?
Three, two, one, go!
In at number 6 is Desert Fox. This is the first of the Tank Wars arenas. Now then, the reason I like this one is tactics, my boy. You have 4 different corners, and you've got to work out where everyone else is going to move. You've got to think one step ahead. You've got mines, and you've got a turret. Now, each character has different abilities. Crash and Coco has a very balanced weapon, which kind of does average damage, average speed. Cortex and Brio have really fast shots, but they don't do that much damage. Tiny and Koala have slow shots, but they do a lot of damage. So avoid them as much as possible, especially at close range. Rillaroo and Dingodile have small fireballs that don't do very much damage, but they get an extra round. I would say Tiny and Koala Kong are the best, but Crash and Coco can be decent. I'd say Rillaroo and Dingodile are virtually useless as always. Despite the name Desert Fox, there is actually no foxes, although you are in a desert, which wasn't a very common type of level in the Crash Bandicoot series. You had some Arabian levels in Crash 3. That's about as close as it gets. So, this is pretty much the first vendetta into the desert for young Crash. The objective is to basically kill each other. It's a tank battle. I do quite like tanks. They're always very interesting vehicles. So, that was number 6. What's number 5? In at number 5 is Drain Bash. This is the 4th level of Crate Crush in the game. It shares a similar theming to that of the sewer levels from Crash 2. It is also the only Crate Crush level with no nitro crates. There are 4 purple crates that appear simultaneously in the arena, but only one has a special secret weapon. This could be a sonic ring which pushes all your enemies out the way and any crates that surround you as well. There's also the 8-way missile which fires, 8 missiles in 8 different directions, kind of like a ring of missiles. And there's also the homing orb. I've got a homing orb, everyone! It can get a bit stinky down there, so let's hope Rillaroo has not done a stinky number 2 in the loo. However, what's not at number 2, but number 4, because that's up next. Three, two, one, go! In at number 4 is Tilt Panic. So, don't panic, don't panic. Oh dear, that was a Dad's Army reference, by the way, just in case you was a bit confused. It was a 60s British sitcom. Tilt Panic, however, is the second polar push arena in the game. Unlike the first one, where you have to break all the ice around the edge, which for me is tough because, you know, I never know how to break the ice at parties. I usually just ask people if they play Crash Bash. Then they just stare awkwardly at me. Anyway, yes, Tilt Panic. There is no barrier, which makes these levels very quick. However, watch out for when a fish jumps onto the ice, because a greedy, fat, greasy-haired walrus will jump on and unbalance the ice, causing absolute mayhem. For me, this is the quintessential polar push level. As we now enter the top 3.
3, 2, 1, go!
In at number 3 is Dragon Drop, which is the second of the medieval mayhem arenas. It has a very similar theme to the medieval levels from Crash Bandicoot Warped. This minigame, however, consists of riding on little dragons and spitting gems at an archery target. Sounds great, doesn't it? You get more points the further back you shoot from. I always tend to try and shoot from the 5-point marker because it's more worthwhile. Shooting from the 1 and 2 point markers doesn't really get you many points. The dragons do slightly resemble Baby T. In fact, in Japan, this level is called Aiming Baby T. During the game, you can thrust yourself at the other opponents, causing them to drop any gems they may have in their mouths. Generally, the only gems I have in my mouths... In my mouths? Do I have multiple mouths? I'm keeping that in anyway. Have in my mouth are ice gems. Anyway, on to the top 2.
3, 2, 1, go!
In at number 2 is Metal Fox, which is the second Tank Wars arena in the game. The main difference between this level and Desert Fox, which of course was in my top 10 as well, is the metal walls that rise and fall between the blocks, making this a very dynamic arena and leading to much more tactical opportunities. You've got to watch out for when they rise and when they fall. It's always the same pattern, so be sure to make notes of that. This level also has a bomb pickup, which can be fired over walls and has very high damage. The bombs are one of my favourite weapons in the game. This is a level I would play endlessly. It's just so much fun. The computers are actually very good at this game as well, and they're a big challenge. Just watch out for Private Ruru. He's known to betray you for some bananas, the naughty man. Before we get into the number 1 position, we've got some honourable and some naughty dishonourable mentions.
Crash Bash! 3, 2, 1, go! You fail. You fail.
All the Pogo levels suck. Every last one of them. Absolutely terrible levels. No, 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 no. In at number 1 is Space Bash. This was my most played arena by quite some margin. It is the second Crate Crush arena in the game. The arena floor can be destroyed by TNT and Nitro once it's exploded, and it's very satisfying when you can knock an opponent through a hole to their instant death. This level of course has the same theming from the future levels in Crash Bandicoot Warped. The music is even very similar as well. You can also pick up some speedy boots, which of course make your character move faster. There's also a Z, which slows you down, so that's kind of like a negative pickup. You can also pick up an Aku Aku mask. No matter what character you are, it's always an Aku Aku mask. So, you know, Cortex can actually pick up an Aku Aku mask. Mad! There's also an anvil, which of course are from the Polar Push levels. So you can pick up an anvil, then try and pass it on to someone else. It's kind of a negative pickup, but you can give it to someone else so it becomes a positive pickup. This is just the ultimate Crash Bash arena. Just endless fun, throwing TNT, throwing stone blocks at each other. What could be more fun than that? It's not a party until Susan throws a rock at you. Dearie me. So, that was my top 10 Crash Bash arenas. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you also if you've left a like if you liked the video. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and stuff and all that gubbins. Anyway, take care and goodbye.